Welcome back, MoJoe Sports, episode 41. We're getting up there. It's crazy. I'm here with Willie Mo. Mo, how you doing?
Joe, I think this is 42.
Oh, fuck. It's my first time hosting, and I fucked it up. Damn it. Welcome back, MoJoe Sports 42. Damn it.
No, it's so hard once you just get that many episodes, which most people never get to. But we've gotten to this point, and I'm doing good. Today is my fiance's birthday, so shout out my fiance. And
happy birthday, Emily.
Yeah, dropped a pretty penny on her at Chili's today. We got some lunch, a little triple dipper action. So did that, and then yeah, it's been solid overall. I'm wearing you see, it's a Clemson jersey. You're probably thinking Willie Mo didn't play for Clemson. No, I did not, but I'm an Eagles fan, and this is my favorite Eagle of all time. This is a Brian Dawkins Clemson jersey.
Badass. It's a good throwback. That's really nice.
Yeah.
I did not play for the Tokyo Giants, but I do have a sweater for my brother who went there to a game once. So,
is that who you're rooting for in the World Baseball Classic? Are you rooting for Japan?
The Tokyo Giants. If the U.S. gets knocked out, I might switch my allegiances to Tokyo. It's like the World Cup. I always go U.S., but then we lose, right? We're not, soccer's not our strength, and then I switch over to France.
You're just saying, who is the U.S. of soccer? You're like, okay, perfect. I'll go with Brazil or Argentina.
No. French, baby. Mbappe. Okay.
Mbappe's nice, bro.
Yep. I'm excited. I'm actually really excited for the World Cup. Like, it's a perfect time too. Like, they put it right in the summer when we're kind of dead. It'll be like MLB game 70. Right in the middle, kind of, and we get some nice World Cup. I'm pumped for that.
And the good news is that it's local, so the timing will be good. It's not, there's no matches getting played at 4 a.m. for us, so that's nice.
We do have a World Cup expert that has tentatively agreed to be on the show. I don't think he's ever listened to an episode. He was our kicker in college. He does not watch soccer, but he will be on as our World Cup expert. He has agreed to that, so look forward to that one in a couple months.
Out of guys that can kick a ball, he was the best option out of our Rolodex. Yeah. So bringing him on. I thought he played soccer in high school, no?
He did, but he says he does not follow anything soccer. So
the combination of him playing high school soccer, my FIFA years during college, and then you just being a degenerate gambler. That's going to make for a nice cocktail, and we will get some bets out.
Yep. My wife's French heritage plays into the World Cup. I have gotten into the World Cup more and more through relations, and that's it's a big deal over there, apparently. They like the World Cup.
I went to a World Cup watch party once. I was in Chicago, and World Cup was on. The U.S. was playing against Portugal, which favorite player, Ronaldo, Portuguese. So we watched in the Chicago Park. I don't even know what it's called. It's by the Bean. And 80,000 people showed up on this lawn, watch on a big-ass TV. And then we saw Ronaldo ultimately end all of our dreams in like I want to say it was probably like the 88th minute. And yeah, it was electric.
Yeah. Soccer's good, especially like big-time soccer is pretty good.
Oh, yeah. And the World Cup's it's a spectacle in itself.
Yep. Yeah. Will, I know we introduced this last week, but we got the Shark Take segment. TM, no copy in that one. So you got any new takes for me to take some equity in? Last week, I liked your takes. I took a lot of equity. I think one of them I didn't like. So I'm excited to hear this week. I don't have any for you this week. I've been thinking about it. I don't have any investments for you to think about, but for you, I'm excited to see what you got.
Well, that's smart. Don't bring one because you never want to present a bad investment because that can affect future investments, Joe.
Correct.
So this week I've got one that I think a lot of people are going to hate and disagree with, and that's fine, but you're wrong. And this take has to do with the combine. So, what I'm proposing is that we get rid of official measurements and stats at the combine. I'm thinking at this point that scouts don't really have to work very hard. If you want to find out a guy's broad jump, some linebacker from Arkansas State, you better fucking record it yourself.
Oh,
Because guess what? I didn't even watch a lot of the combine because I have work like a normal human. But guess what? I can tell you everybody's measurements.
right.
I scouted them all myself. I did it. I didn't even go to Indianapolis. So let's get rid of it. And ideally, I don't even want them to be allowed to use technology. I want you
Mm,
to watch a 40-yard dash and just say, man, that guy was fast
yeah.
or that guy was slow. Because I was watching with my fiance. We were watching the combine. She was like, whoa, that looks slow. Number pops up on the screen 438. Next guy goes, and she's like, oh my God, he looks like he's going to trip and fall. I didn't like that. Same thing. It's just so fast, like 440. Then some guy goes up, and she's like, oh, he's cooking 455. So let's bring that back. Let's just do the eye test. And coaches, you actually have to do your own scouting.
I like that. So no technology combine. You just get a bunch of guys and ask them to do whatever they want. Just pure chaos.
I mean, we can still run the drills, but you just can't time it. You got to
Mm,
look at him. You got to say, that guy looks good in shorts.
I like that. That's a good, that's a good, how much do you think they actually, like, I know the times matter and the measurements matter and all that, but do you think that there are some guys where it doesn't matter? Like, I think that happens a lot where it's like their film outweighs whatever measurables they're looking at.
I would hope so. I'm a big film over measurement guy, but it definitely plays a factor. And honestly, we can dive into some of the combine talk I already had prepared. But if you look at a guy like Ruben Bain, I think we all watched college football this year. We all said Ruben Bain is disgusting. This kid reminds me of Will Anderson, and goes to the combine, third shortest arms ever by a defensive end at the combine. And people are saying now he's going to fall possibly out of the top 10. So now you're looking at tens of millions of dollars that he's going to lose because his arms are short. Didn't seem to matter this year. Didn't he had the same size arms and he was wreaking havoc every Saturday.
Mm, yeah. Yeah, no, I mean that's the shitty part. But at the same time, what's the Patriots O lineman, Will Campbell, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
exposed.
he got exposed, right? And yeah, it's like he kind of came in with some of those small measurements, and so it's like I don't know. Yeah, I go back and forth on that type of stuff because I feel like it matters, but then at the same time, if you get a freak out there, it doesn't matter, right? Like if they're a freak, they're gonna perform well on those tests. So it's hard to it's hard for me to argue that you shouldn't do it, but I really like the no stopwatch, no laser timing, no vertical jump. Like they just have to jump in the air. You don't hit any sticks. They just stand there and jump. Like holy fuck, that was pretty high. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I'm in on that one. I'll take whatever equity you give me on that one. That's good.
Because back in the day, they had to do that. They
Right.
had to scout these players, and they didn't have the most reliable technology or metrics.
Yep.
And the guys that flourished were the ones that could actually spot talent.
Yep.
Joe,
That's the
when you were coming out of high school, did you go to camps and stuff? And I'm sure you did for long snapping, right? But with
yeah.
those camps, did you have to do measurements, 40s, things like that?
There was 40 times. Yeah, fortunately for me, it doesn't matter too much for the long snapping world, but like snap time, that was a big thing. How fast you can snap a punt snap, like that's a big deal. Um, but I feel like it's the same type of thing anywhere. You go kind of. I think the point is you go compete against other guys from across the country. That was the thing at the camps.
Right.
So
But
I
we
don't
would
know.
get kids at these combines I went to that they were built for a combine.
Right,
You put
right,
on the tape and you're saying, why is this guy not getting the ball? But he comes to a combine. He has the fastest 40. He benches more than anybody. So he's the fastest player, the strongest player. Well, guess what? There's a reason why his high school coach isn't giving him the ball.
right.
I think of some of our teammates at UNLV that were freaks but they couldn't remember the playbook. So you throw them out there, and every play they're doing something wrong.
Yep. Yep. No, yeah, I agree with that. There's a difference between being school smart and then being, smart on the field. It's the same thing. There were some people I went to high school with where it's like, this person's an absolute moron, but they had a 4.0. It doesn't always translate. Yeah,
And
I
I
agree.
will, speaking from a guy with extremely short arms, okay, people got mad at Ruben Bang because his were like 31.5 inches, I believe. Mine, I was 29 inches. So extremely short. For the NFL, for a lineman, you need to be at least 32 inches. What I will say about these guys with short arms is that they're the best adapters and it takes time. You got to adjust. So, adjusting means losing, and hopefully, you lose more in practice. And then you get used to it and you figure out the tricks that you need to be able to handle it because you've shown you can handle it. You dominated in college. So, you just need a little bit of time to figure out what other adjustments you got to make to be able to handle these new freaks that you're going against.
Yeah, yeah. I wonder about the interviews. There we got like the Makai Lemon. Like people were saying he's just a weird guy and he was kind of freaking people out. That was the reports. I mean, I think sometimes they put that out to get a higher pick. You like try to sneak it out and say, hey, this guy's weird as fuck. Like we don't want him, and then they pick him because he's
Yeah.
nasty. But it's like I wonder how much those interviews actually matter. I mean, Shadura last year, that was the report. Like the interviews kind of tanked him. So I wonder if it actually matters. But we've had a few guys that go play, and we've known a few guys that have gone through the combine process, and I have heard they ask you some weird fucking questions. So I think these GMs and these owners and the coaches are just sickos, and they go in there and like, hey, how can we ask these 25-year-olds some weird ass questions?
Joe, I was just with a former NFL offensive lineman this past weekend, and he may be coming on the show.
Mm,
So this is a possibility. And
I think I know what you're talking about. Super Bowl champion.
yeah, he's a Super Bowl champ. So that would be huge for the boys. And yeah, we might have him on. We'll have to work out. My agent's got to talk to his agent, and then they got to talk to your agent.
See if his
So,
fee his our fee is good enough for him.
but we'll see what kind of combine questions he was asked.
That's
The
a good
best
one.
one I heard was former USC safety Sua Cravens. He isn't in the NFL, but he was talking about the combine. He said the weirdest one he had was an interview where he walked in. The coach asked him, "How long can you hold your eyes open for without blinking?" And he was like, "I don't know." And the guy was like, "Do it right now." And so he did. He said he lasted like 30 seconds. And then when he was done, the interview was over. That was it. He said it was one question, and he said that they did not like him after that because he wasn't competitive enough.
Yeah, that's like that type of shit. You joking me? Who came up with that? I don't know. Yeah, that's the dumbest shit I ever heard in my life.
Yeah.
We saw David Montgomery to the Texans. That was kind of a big trade today. They got him for free. It seemed like a couple of linemen and like a 5th round trade. Um, Are you scared of the Texans? I feel like everybody on Twitter today was talking about how you should be scared of the Texans, but last I checked, they still got CJ Stroud as quarterback, so I'm not too scared.
Yeah, this is the perfect move for him. They didn't have a running back that was reliable. And now you just got somebody that you can trust to take the ball from CJ. Say, hey, CJ, do not throw that ball anywhere near a defender. You just give it to Monty.
Yeah, I'm a fan. I like the trade. I also think it's the oldest running back room in the league. Is that right? I'm pretty sure it's up there. I'm pretty sure they have Joe Mixon, who's maybe not ever going to play again, right? Something about an ATV accident. And then I can't remember who else on the roster, but they got an old ass room, so maybe this will be a new bout of life for that running back room. But I didn't think their running backs were necessarily the problem. It was throwing 6 picks a game that didn't help.
I thought I was slick as fuck. I picked up Joe Mixon in multiple fantasy leagues this year with like my last pick of the draft. I said, he's got to come back, right? Even if it's week 7, I don't care. I'll wait on it. Just never did.
Yeah, there's some reports saying he might not ever play again. This is what I was reading because his leg got like crushed in this accident. So I don't know.
After the $50 buy-in he costed me, good.
Life ruined.
Yeah, I blame it all on my last pick of the draft. It wasn't drafting Justin Jefferson first round. It was not that.
Oh,
In other NFL news, Brandon Aubrey, kicker news, actually, he got offered north of $6 million a year, and it was going to be above Harrison Butker, who I believe is the highest paid. And Aubrey said, "No thanks. I want at least $10 million a year." Joe, as a specialist, give me your thoughts.
I mean, the guy is automatic. He is automatic. It's a question of how many Brandon Aubreys are you gonna get? You know what I mean? Like, is he kind of the new wave of kickers where you're gonna start to see guys that just bang these 60-yarders through? Jake Bates for the Lions, he's been pretty automatic. Like, there's a few guys up there that now can
Cam
command some
Little,
money. Yeah, yeah. No, I think it's a new wave, but at the same time, I do think 10 million's a lot. 10 million might be a lot, but that might be his anchor price. You know, it's like, oh, we'll give you 6. I want 10, give me 8, like that type of thing. It's still a lot of money, but he might be worth it because they're going to start being able to kick the ball as soon as you catch a kickoff. It's like, okay, take a fair catch, take a knee. You're on the 30, like you get 2 yards, a yard, 3 yards. Fuck it, we'll kick a 80-yard field goal. Like that's what it feels like we're getting to. So I don't know. Is it worth it? Jerry Jones might just do it. White boy, clean cut. You know, it seems like Jerry Jones kind of guy. I don't know.
this is my problem, though, Joe. Exactly what you just said. Kickers are ruining the
It's
NFL
true.
because they're getting to a point where they're so good that eventually you won't even have to cross midfield and
Yep.
you already have points. So I want kickers out of the game, but now they're asking for 8 figures.
Yeah.
I mean, so we're going in opposite directions, me and the NFL.
Yeah. I think you should take one way to help the kicking game, take out roughing the kicker. Let him
Oh,
rough the kicker. You got to think a little bit twice after you finish that fall through. Just get roughed up. It might hurt the percentages. I'm telling you. You can't be egregious. It can't be a 10 seconds after. But if it's right there, you give him a little bump ski. It might take him out. It might make him think twice before they fall through a little harder.
yeah, it's going to be a tough one to get passed by the Senate, but
The NLPA,
we'll bring it
the
up.
PA is not gonna like that one. Hey,
That's
what
going
if
to
we
be
just
tough.
let them fuck the kickers up?
Yeah, I mean, that's really all I had for the NFL is just
Yeah.
Monty and Aubrey. I will
The
say this was the fastest combine ever as well, just last combine thought, but
Yep.
every single position group's average 40 time was the fastest all time except for quarterbacks. This quarterback group was the second fastest all time.
That the Oregon tight end, Sadiq, right?
That's my combine winner, yeah.
Dude, unbelievable. Yeah, he's a fucking monster. Same with the kid from Vandy. I think he had the highest.
Stowers.
Yeah, he had the highest vertical jump, and like the tight end position is on the rise. I'm buying stock in tight ends because I think they're, it's like you get it's like the power forward in the NBA, I think, where it's like you get these Giannis guys that are 7 feet tall. They can shoot, they can bring the ball up the court. The tight ends are starting to be the same thing. They can run block, they can run routes like a receiver. And they also are freak athletes. So I'm huge on the tight ends. I think we've seen a resurgence of the tight end position, especially in the last couple of years, and I think it's only going to get better.
For sure. I mean, Travis Kelce kind of opened the floodgates, I would say,
Yep,
to what is
Gronk.
possible with a
Yep,
tight end. Yeah, Gronk to me is the best tight end of all time.
yep,
Kelsey just basically showed, hey, you can be a glorified receiver.
yep.
And then
and
Yeah,
then
it's just
marry a
gonna keep getting
billionaire.
better. Yeah, right. There you go, cash out. And then they started up the tight end U,
Yeah.
so they're also just making tight ends better and better. Yeah, I think it's great.
You had a couple Kalshi bets you've texted me recently.
Yeah,
I've tried to get on Polymarket. It seems like Polymarket's got a few like wilder props. I just can't really get approved. In the US is a little harder, I think. But talk to me about Kalshi because I've been on there, but it feels like you've become an expert.
I'm far from an expert, Joe. In fact, this little last debacle probably ruins any expertise I thought I had. But essentially, I bet on the Iranian supreme leader to be out of office by March 1st or April 1st, actually. I gave myself some cushion. I said, I don't know how long it's going to take.
The futures
Uh,
contract was a little long.
yeah. And sure, did it feel like I may have been betting on an assassination, possibly? Yeah, maybe.
Allegedly.
That's what it felt like when I placed it. And I played small money because in the back of my head, I said, someone's trying to fuck me. And I'm happy I had that thought because that's exactly what happened. So, for those of you that don't know, we did strike Iran and we did take out the supreme leader. And Kalshi, during this whole thing, they threw into their house rules. They changed the rule on the market. And they were like, if he dies, this does not count.
Mm,
And people were going, well, how else was he going to fall out of leadership? Because nobody has stepped down from that position
ever.
in 80 years.
Right.
So there's, yeah, there's really no other way this market settles. And every time that you guys posted about this market on Twitter, you were showing like missiles and airstrikes as you're showing it. So you're almost promoting that. And a bunch of people basically had bet on the market. They said, we'll put it at a fair price and we'll pay it out from there. So we'll try to give you guys your money back. The one problem is that the price they picked was a bad price for the majority of users. And most people that put, let's say you put $1,000 on it, there were people posting tickets and it was like you put 1,000 to win like $20,000. And now we're going to give you like $300 back.
Mm, mm.
Terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible.
We got
Polymarket, though, paid them all out.
right. Right. That's what I'm saying. Polymarket seems like you want to gamble on assassinations or world conflicts. That's where you go. That's where I see a lot of, and they have a lot more like crazy markets on there. Kalshi's kind of nerfed a little bit.
And yeah, death to Kalshi at this
Yeah.
point. I
Yeah.
think they're getting hit pretty hard in PR. Class action lawsuit coming. The
Yeah.
crazy part is that they just changed the house rules just the day of, basically,
Yeah.
which is ridiculous. And then there were people that bet on Jimmy Carter to not go to Trump's inauguration in 2024. And they all got paid out despite the reason him not going was because he died, which most people bet on it because they said 99-year-old Jimmy Carter probably not going to be alive by then. So that was their betting angle, and they did get paid out.
Huh.
And death is ultimately inevitable. If you bet against Marshall and their whole plane crashed and the Marshall football team died and they forfeit the game, right? Like whatever. If Scotty Scheffler dies and you bet on him to not win the Masters, you probably still get paid out.
Right.
So there's a lot of people arguing that death is involved in every market.
Yeah. It's like a life insurance policy. They gotta, count it. It counts. Yeah. Huh. Interesting. Yeah, Kalshi, I don't I've always wondered how they have a counterparty to the parlays they offer for the sports betting stuff. I don't really understand that because you bet on these markets, right? You were betting on that. Somebody on the other side saying, no, this guy's gonna be in office on April 1st, and it's a contract. You have both sides of it. But on the parlays, there's no way that somebody's taking the other side of my 10 leg parlay. If they would, I mean they'd probably make a lot of money, but like that I don't understand the yeah,
So I
I
think
feel
I
like
think
lawsuits
Polymarket
incoming.
I think Polymarket is peer to peer in its truest form,
Yep.
from what I understand.
Yep.
Whereas Kalshi sounds like it's kind of a hybrid.
Yep. Sketch. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Investigate them.
Yeah, I'm out. Delete the app if you've got it. We're boycotting MoJoe Sports. We're boycotting Kalshi
Yeah.
until
Where
further
we turned
notice.
down the sponsorship. They offered us. We said no.
Yeah,
We
but
don't
if
want
they
your blood money.
reoffer us, if they're listening, they reoffer, we will take it.
We do want your blood money. Uh,
Joe, tell me about golf this week. I heard that there was a pretty epic meltdown. I don't know what you would call it, but gambling odds wise, Lowry was basically a lock to win this.
yeah, he was up 3 going into the final 3 holes. I believe he had 3 left. Okay, so he was up 3 strokes, which for the average golfer like us, it's not that big of a lead, right? But for a professional, 3 strokes, 3 holes left, you just got a par, you pretty much win the tournament. He proceeds to double 2 holes in a row. So he double bogeys 2 holes in a row. One of them was just a dead shank into the water, like something that we would do. And that got him a little bit shook, I think. And then from there, doubles again, and he ends up getting third, I believe. Those couple spots, third, you might sound that might sound okay, but the third place that cost him about $1 million in prize money. So he only made 700 grand, where the winner, got 1.7. So not great for him. The other not great stuff that came to my attention from our golf experts, who may or may not be on the show come Masters time. We may have some professional golfers on the show here during Masters, former professional golfers. He said, he's sending me some stuff. The 2 guys at the top might not be good guys. Okay, so Shane Lowry's pretty good guy. He's well known, respected, new father. That was the whole angle. Good guy. The guys that won had some crime. They had some crime in their past, filming some stuff they maybe shouldn't have been filming. Intoxicated women kind of gets into that realm. So not good guys, and they finished first and second. So, sometimes you get a weird cognizant Classic Open PGA in the middle of not really a ton of sports going on, and it delivers a little bit.
Golf honestly needed some heels.
Yeah.
This is good for the sport, actually, I would
Yeah.
argue, because now we have an enemy, and that enemy is now powerful. The enemy is the reigning champ as of this week, and we can all root against him. If you're a troll, you can root for them.
Yeah, I don't know if you want to be rooting for it, but seems like this type of stuff a lot of people are rooting for these days. So we'll see. we will see. We disavow. We do not like what these guys stand for. We are not fans. Not even going to say their names, not because I forgot them, but we're not going to say them because we don't like them.
Yeah, don't pump them up. Hey, karma's a bitch, right?
Yep.
So karma said, "Oh, you wanna do that? You want to film these girls? Well, guess what? Here's a PGA championship. But we're gonna put you up high before we knock you down. So I think karma's got a weird way of working out.
Yeah, felony, win a championship, probably another felony.
Right. Yeah, you can't start at the felony because the guy's already down on his luck.
Right.
We got to build him up and then you break him down.
Take it all away again.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't really watch it though, to be honest with you. I just followed, on Twitter. What I was watching though, I did watch some college basketball.
Of course.
We're right in the heat of it. We got conference tournament week starting this week. The bigger leagues start next week, but I think they're calling champ week starting Wednesday. And we're into it. We're into March. It's electric. I know it's your favorite time of year. It's pretty fucking good, huh?
Yeah, it is my favorite. I would say 4-day stretch, that first round of March Madness. And I think what's great about this one is the top 4 or 5 teams are just so damn good. But then from there, you have a different tier. So I still think we're going to get the upsets, but I do believe those top 4 or 5 teams are going to run away, at least to the Elite Eight. But I wouldn't be surprised if we got another chalky Final Four this year, another all 4 1 seeds. Kind of probably depends on where Florida ends up, because the 4 teams I've got in mind right now would be Duke, Florida, Arizona, Michigan. Right, that 4, and they came out with the stat that they say, oh, every year for the past 25 years, if you have these ratings on offense and defense, you can win the national championship. And after Florida just blew out Arkansas this weekend, they have now entered that, and there are 4 teams.
Hmm. I like that. Yeah, I've been having my eyes on Miami, Ohio, undefeated. They might finish it out with the regular season undefeated, but I mean that there's talks of them not getting in the tourney if they lose in the MAC championship or in the MAC tournament. That's fucking bullshit, right? If they don't,
Won't
that's,
happen.
that's insane. I can't believe that some people have that take. It's like you can't win 29 games, even if you lose one. Say they go 29-2, you're not going to put them in the tournament. Like that's bullshit. So that's a story I'm closely monitoring.
Well, I was going to ask, did they win this week? Because I swear they lost, or I thought they did.
I know they won this weekend, but I don't know if they played tonight.
No. Okay, if they won this weekend, it was the game I was watching this weekend, and it was a tight game, which that's one of the things about it, Miami of Ohio. I guess they don't really blow people out.
No.
They kind of only play these really tight games.
Yep.
And they just cannot lose.
They can't lose. You can't. Yeah. I just.
Okay, they did pull it out. I'm looking at it right now.
Yep.
So it was the same thing. I was watching the last minute of the game.
Yep.
I was working, but it had it in the corner, and I was like, "Oh, they're for sure going to lose this game."
Didn't they win in overtime?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. But either way, put them in. You can't. That's the fact. Some people are calling for them not to be in is disgusting.
Yeah, I think you have to put a team in like that. And this happens all the time, though, Joe. Last year, Indiana State was really good. They had the guy with the goggles, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, right?
Yep.
We all remember him,
yep.
Electric. And they didn't make it in the tournament. But then you'll see these teams from the SEC, the ACC they're good teams, but they've got 12 losses, whatever, and they chalk it up to strength of schedule, and that's fine. But some of these little schools that we're all wanting to see, if they don't win their conference tournament, they get fucked.
Yeah. Yeah. I just don't know if we've ever seen an undefeated team get fucked. Like if you go undefeated regular season and lose one game, like that's, yeah. But they probably won't. They'll probably win it.
I'm hoping they do.
Yeah.
Actually, no. I take it back. I'm hoping they lose.
Yeah,
I want to see the chaos. Make the decision.
I
Make the
know.
right decision.
Yeah, what a tough choice. The other one I've been watching Gonzaga, so Gonzaga's like an hour and a half from where I grew up. So I watched like Adam Morrison and the boys always play. Washington State was really good back then. They had Tony Bennett, former Virginia head coach, now consultant with the Lakers. That got announced recently, so congrats to him. But anyway, Gonzaga's always been nasty. They have a news story coming out, 30 for 30. But for some reason, okay, this was the last regular season game. They're joining the Pac-12. So this was the last regular season game in their current conference. For some reason, St. Mary's and Gonzaga is like one of the best rivalries in college basketball, like of all time. It really is, because every year it's like big bad Gonzaga. Nobody fucking talks about St. Mary's at all. And they have had like some of these incredible games. I think it was Patty Mills. I mean, that might be a pull. That's a deep pull from there. But Patty Mills and Gonzaga, like some really good rivalries. And St. Mary's beat them again. It always feels like St. Mary's gets one on them every year. And then Gonzaga turns around and just smashes them in the conference tournament. So I was watching that game. Gonzaga killed a bunch of my parlays. And I just wanted to mention that because I know better. I've watched Gonzaga for years, and I know that was a game they lose to St. Mary's. I just, I get sucked in. Right around this time, I get sucked into Gonzaga and believing they can maybe do it all. But this year, I don't know. I think maybe a Sweet 16's their ceiling.
That's what I was going to say. They always play each other close,
Mm-hmm.
no matter what. It's always a tight game. And the Patty Mills poll, unbelievable. I mean,
yeah, I know. West Coast ball.
I didn't think you had that in you.
I don't have a ton of Rolodex of college basketball knowledge, but like 2008 to 2014, like Pac-12 / West Coast basketball, I'm pretty dialed in.
The West Coast Conference put out some legends. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously you have all the Gonzaga guys, but then you also get Steve Nash.
Yep.
You also get Matthew Dellavedova.
Mm-hmm.
So there's definitely some legends in there. But when they're moving to the Pac-12 next year, the thing is, they waited until
It was
everybody
bad.
left.
I know. I know.
Yeah. Now
I
they
know.
want to join.
Everybody always wanted to see the Oregon Gonzaga games. Everyone, you had Twan Porter for Oregon back in the day. You had Kevin Love, UCLA. Like everybody wanted to see those Gonzaga, UCLA, USC big matchups, and now we're getting it with the bones of the Pac-12. So it's depressing. I agree, but I guess it finally happened. I don't know. Yeah, bad news. It's like Grand Canyon, the Mountain West. I always thought that'd be a perfect
Hmm.
lineup, and now we finally get it. But it's like, okay, it's not the same Mountain West anymore. So why does it matter?
Right. Well, the Mountain West, run by UNLV, which, by the way, beat Reno in overtime this weekend. So shout out the Rebels back on top. Season hasn't been exactly what we want. We're not bad, but damn, do we throw some games away.
Yeah,
And we're definitely not as good as we want.
yeah.
Our head coach, former Georgia Tech head coach, got famous because he wore he wore the full visor during COVID, the mask that looks like you're welding. That's what he would wear to the games. So he's running the show now at UNLV, but happy about this weekend, taking down the Wolfpack.
Yeah.
The other college basketball news I wanted to hit on was, I don't know if you saw this, but Chad Baker Mazzara, USC, formerly at Auburn. Before that, he was at San Diego State. He was at a JUCO. He's been like 6 schools. Highly touted prospect. They just announced that he's just off the team. He's just not part of the team anymore. He went to the locker room mid-game and then came back, full uniform, everything. Didn't sit with the team, just sat courtside with like friends and family, just in the crowd wearing full get up, still sweating.
I
So
did, I did
just a
not see
bizarre story.
that.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait to see him on his next team because he'll.
Well, he's 23 at this point. So he's for basketball, that is old. I mean, you're almost out of the NBA at that age.
Oh, I can't
And
wait to tune in to watch him play for Lithuania.
yeah, it would be great, but people don't really know why he got kicked off. We can all speculate. He's probably not the best guy if he's getting kicked out of all these places. Somebody was saying even the San Diego State coach is just like the nicest dude in the world. And he very passively, aggressively was like, yeah, this guy's got some concerns. So they were like, if he's saying it, then it must be bad. And I saw a great fake tweet. Someone said, turns out USC found his actual birth certificate from the Dominican Republic, and he's 32 years old and has 4 kids. And some like actual reporter like quoted it, was like, holy shit, is this real? So all those accounts popping up that are just fake news reporters that look legit, those are so funny, and they're just growing fast.
The fact that they thought it like might be real tells the whole story there. He's like, "Oh, no way."
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Do you have any conference bets or anything?
I looked
Any
I looked
winners?
before we started, to try to get some lines, and it didn't seem like a bunch of the major conferences haven't put out conference winners yet, for the lines. So I was looking at some futures and stuff, but, I think after this weekend, I'll be able to dive in a little more and get back into it. I've placed a couple college basketball bets, but really not a ton. I was close on one on Saturday, and then Gonzaga sold, so that would have been a nice. It was like a plus 2,000 couple leg parlay. I had it dead to rights. Texas Tech, I nailed that one. 10.5 was way too much for them, so I picked up some good winners. But you know me, I love to toss them in a parlay. So I ended up not getting a single dollar out of it. But
Beautiful.
yeah, soon I'll be diving fully in and losing some funds on college basketball.
I'm looking at the Final Four odds,
Mm,
and 3 teams have our favorites to go to the Final Four. Duke minus 170, Michigan minus 160, Arizona minus 120 to
mm,
get to the Final Four. Then from there, you get Florida plus 150, Houston plus 200, Illinois, UConn. I kind of want to take a little Michigan State at 10-1 to make the
yep.
Final Four. They're
Izzo in
very
March.
frisky. Yeah, Izzo in March, he's going to get out of the first weekend. always does. There's definitely a part of me that wants to take Houston to go to the Final Four at 2-1 just because they smother these teams
Mm-hmm.
in the tournament. So, and they've got experience. I love the coach, Sampson. He knows how to win those games. It really comes down to, do they have somebody that can score at the end?
Yep.
I wouldn't count out UConn.
I like
Kansas,
UConn. Yeah.
if Darren Peterson
I feel
says for the tournament,
like
if all of a sudden he comes out and he's like, I'm playing
hey,
every
remember
minute.
I'm Darren Peterson, and then he just
Yeah.
yeah. I know. It's basically you're betting on. It's not will Kansas make the Final Four? It's will Darren Peterson play more than 10 minutes a game?
Yeah. And some people argue they're not as good when he plays. So
Mm.
who knows? Some people are saying they're a better team without him.
That picture
Not
I heard
me.
was that fake news. That picture where he's standing at the top, it was fake. He was talking to the ref. He was arguing for his team for the ref. But once the narrative's out, it's out. So I think I'm selling stock on BYU and Iowa State. I don't think I'm going to be a buyers for them to go deep. I feel like they have some deep flaws that somehow when they're playing on ESPN, it doesn't come out. But then, I mean, they got Arizona's beating the fuck out of Iowa State right now. So I don't know.
That's what
Not buying.
Arizona does.
Yep. I don't know though. I might go against your chalky. I think maybe we'll get 2 or 3 number ones, and then the rest we might be surprised. But we'll see.
As a viewer, I would not hate that at all.
No.
Because all I want is chaos. If all 4 of them lost to the 16 seeds round 1, I would not give a shit.
Nope.
I would be celebrating.
Yep.
Let's put that parlay in right now. Can you guys get that in the back? All right. Yeah. So if that hits, I will own Epstein's Island by the end of April.
Yeah, could use some money.
But we'll definitely dive into college basketball conference tournament bets next week pretty heavily because it's all going to get started very soon, and we should have way more odds up for that. So we will dive into that. Joe, let's dive into quick college football update. We're a big college football pod. So first thing, you brought this to my attention, but Michigan is back in the news and not for the right reasons.
Shrillmore is, we gave it out last year, part of our awards at the end of the college football season. I think we called it the horniest coach. It's the Urban Meyer Horny Coach Award. It was the first inaugural for him, and Sharon Moore was our winner. And boy, he can't help himself with some of these, right? I mean, the messages that are getting leaked, I don't know if it's real, I don't know if it's not, but it is something to see because the guy just doesn't stop. And yeah, I don't know what else to say.
Yeah, what was this guy's name? Do you know?
No, I don't know. The staff was just full of demons, though, apparently. And some of these tweets, I can try to find some of these, but the messages, just it was
Yeah, basically this guy is pulling a Sharon Moore 2.0 and getting accused of some bad stuff, and he's a coach in the NFL at this point. So it's not just Sharon Moore. He's like, hey, these guys were doing it too. It's not just me.
Maybe. But the messages that somebody posted said it was Sharon Moore on the top. I mean, I don't.
It was the same girl though, right?
Right. The one of his staffers had allegedly
sloppy
raped.
seconds.
Yeah, it was. It's not a good look for that program. Full reset is needed, and yeah, if you want to go, try to find them, get up is what this text says. I have a room. I need to get sucked now. What's the excuse now?
We've all sent that text at some point.
It's just you're playing games, freaking out right now. I want you to suck me till I pass out. Yeah,
Is that a haiku? Is that a poem? A love poem he wrote?
Some guys just, deserve a guilty verdict, and he might be one of them.
Yeah, I'm thinking so. I don't know how you get out of that one.
No.
Yeah, it only gets worse. They're doing a full reset. Colorado also starting to reset some buttons. At first, Dion built a staff out of celebrities and former NFL players. So today he just had Warren Sapp resign. So it sounds like they might actually bring in an actual college football coach grinder, because Warren Sapp would go out before the game and he would warm up like a player,
Yeah,
which I've
he was
never
just
seen before.
kicking over the pylons, and yeah, I don't.
Did, did Mike Leach ever do that? Was he ever getting out of his stance pregame?
No, no, yeah, I don't think Coach Leach was focused on the game at all. He was thinking about something else, and then he just had that magical ability to lock in with his beautiful brain.
He's like, all right, I guess I'm going to coach this game now.
Yeah.
Is it time?
It's like we're
Let me
gonna
know.
throw it 200 times.
Yeah. Sad story out of Colorado, though. One of their quarterbacks, did pass away this week in
Mm,
a single car accident. He
mm,
was the only one involved, and unfortunate, he was a transfer from, I forget which school. I know I'm doing a disservice right now with this, but just wanted to bring it up. So shout out to that, and hopefully this is a lesson, because you're getting a lot of kids that are getting these sports cars. It was told in the report, basically, he was going way too fast in his car, tried to make a quick turn, rolled the car into a ravine off
mm.
the side, just tumbled down. So we see it a lot in college sports, especially at Georgia. But yeah, let's just be safe. Okay, there's enough cautionary tales at this point for college football to know, hey, chill the fuck out.
Yep. Get an Uber.
And then last thing with college football, we have a lawsuit. And this one is a school suing a player. So
Mm.
we had Sorsby. He was the hottest quarterback in the portal, and he eventually leaves, takes a big deal to go to Texas Tech. And Cincinnati said, hey, in our contract that we agreed on, you and I, it says if you transfer somewhere, you got to pay us $1 million. Did you forget about that? And it said that it had to be done within 30 days. You announced you were transferring in December. You officially signed and left in January. It's been 30 days. His lawyer came out, said, this is a bad look for you guys to come at a student athlete. You guys paid him $850,000 last year, and you guys should, have a grace period, blah, blah. Which I'm like, that's total bullshit, because he signed a $5 million deal to go to Texas Tech. Pay your $1 million.
Yeah, yeah. I think we're gonna start seeing more of this. It's starting to get some recourse on some of these deals, and I think it's a good thing because it keeps the guys accountable. Who knows if he's got the million? The 5 million that's been has it been paid? Is it upfront? Like all that? I don't know if he's actually got it, but I like it. Same with Colorado starting to find guys for stuff. I think it's funny, and if the money's really starting to fly around like that, you're gonna have to start doing this. Otherwise, we're gonna get to where we talked about. NCAA has no power. These guys can do whatever the fuck they want all the time, and then you turn in the NBA. And I don't want to watch the NBA on Saturdays.
And you would think whoever was negotiating this contract would say, hey, Texas Tech, we have a $1
You got to
million
pay. It's like, yeah,
buyout we
yeah,
got to pay. So can we front load that? But that doesn't sound like it got talked about
no,
at all.
no, no.
Well, Joe, that's all I've got for the whole slate, really. You have anything else left? I know you're a big baseball guy. You want to talk any baseball?
No, we got the World Baseball Classic coming up. TJ, you got anything for us there? Will's cat,
Yeah, for those
an
viewers,
appearance.
TJ the cat, he's been sitting behind me for about 5 minutes, and honestly, doing a pretty good job.
Yeah.
Hasn't said much. He might be our producer. I don't want to get outed for child labor or whatever that would turn into. So
He had a cute
yeah.
yawn about 2 minutes ago. If you haven't seen it, like, subscribe, watch our YouTube just for that. It'd be about the very end of the show, but it'd be worth your while. Good guy. Yeah, that's all I have. I don't care about baseball yet. Spring training. I did go to a spring training game. Arizona, hosts half the teams. Went and saw a game with work. Went to an Oakland A's game. All I know is the pitcher for the Rangers was getting absolutely shelled, and there was about 3 home runs in a row. So I don't think he's going to make a squad. That's my that's my spring training analysis.
That's one of the best parts about going to those AAA games. Here we have the Las Vegas Aviators, and the over/under for those games, if you bet on them, will be in the 20s.
Yeah.
Pretty consistently, like 17 to 24, somewhere in that range. And these guys, they get shelled.
Yeah.
It makes you
Shell.
appreciate major league pitching.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Now there was a drop in the outfield, it's like my boss was saying, "Oh, that guy's cut. He's not making the squad." So it's funny to see these guys. But they pack the games out here. The tickets for the Cubs Dodgers, I was looking at, I think it was like $200-300 for standing room only to get into these. But there is a hack if you live in Arizona or in Florida, you can go watch these guys take BP in practice for free.
Mm,
So you can find their fields and they open it up. So you don't want to pay the prices to see Ohtani play for an inning. Go watch him hit 100 balls off the tee. It's the same thing.
sure. And a lot of celebrities go to those games. A lot of people come out to Scottsdale just for that time of year, go watch some games, hit downtown. I remember I went there as a kid, tried to get an autograph from one of the players, some no-name guy. Didn't even sign my baseball. He signed all the other kids. I was all sad. We sit back down, and one of the cast members from Saturday Night Live was 2 rows in front of us.
Mm.
Went and got his autograph instead. And I was like, all right, well, I don't even know who that baseball player is. Barely spoke English. At least this guy, he's hanging out with Will Ferrell doing cowbell. I'm good with that.
Yeah.
His name was Horatio Sands. So if you go watch any of those like skits in the Will Ferrell era, he is like the fat guy during
Okay.
all that. Yeah.
You still have it?
Probably somewhere deep. But I didn't want to ruin it, so I just kept it so hidden away all these
So
years.
probably gets a pretty penny on eBay these days.
My stepdad actually, he is a volunteer for the Cubs spring training, the
Mm.
Ho-Ho-Com, or it used to be.
Yeah.
And that was a pretty good hack to get into every game for free as well, because he said once he got there, he didn't really do anything, and
Yep.
nobody was paying him.
That's the
So he
stadium I
was
went
just
to.
watching the games.
Hohokam in Mesa. That's where I went to see the game. Yeah, there was a bunch of older folks just checking the tickets, and I guarantee you they're there just to watch the game.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah. That's a hack.
yeah.
Yeah. Don't tip those guys. Well, that does it for Mojo Sports episode 42. Don't you forget it. We'll be back next week to dive into college basketball, and let's get back to betting because we haven't had too many things to bet on. It's tougher without football week to week. So let's get you some conference bets next week. But that's all from Willie Mo.
Adios. Thanks for listening. Like, subscribe. We need it. See ya.